Well, as the White House defers to the Secret Service about an ongoing investigation into cocaine found inside the West Wing, the New York Post is calling out what they see as a conspiracy of silence from the Biden administration over their handling of scandals involving the president's family. And check this out. A new study by the Conservative Media Research Center finds White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has answered just 2% of questions asked in the last 6 months about Biden's classified documents and corruption allegations being investigated by Republican lawmakers. With us now is Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin, the host of the Rubin Report. Dave, it's great to have you on. I mean, the whole thing with the cocaine, my thing is, listen, if you can't figure out who dropped some cocaine in a highly controlled part of the West Wing, maybe revisit the whole security protocol at the White House.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're also being told that it wasn't just some cocaine on a table or in the carpet, which Hunter, we know he likes to snort things out of the carpet. He said he was looking for Parmesan cheese. But I'm not a private investigator, but the world's most famous cocaine doer of the last couple years happened to be at the White House a few days before. I don't know if it was Hunter, but joking aside, if we are to believe that people can enter the White House with drugs and that they somehow have no idea and that the agencies are suddenly saying, oh, we just won't know, and the mainstream media is running with this idea that we won't know, it's absolutely completely absurd. And I don't know if you guys have shown it on Fox, but there's video of Hunter with the president and first lady from a couple days ago at the White House, and he's acting all weird and touching his nose. I mean, man, it just seems like we're just being gaslit into oblivion these days.
And you make a great point. And today at the White House briefing, the question was asked on if the cocaine belonged to the Biden family, and Karine Jean-Pierre was taken aback. Watch.
The Biden family was not here. They were not here. They were at Camp David. They were not here Friday. They were not here Saturday. They were not here Sunday. They were not even here Monday. They came back on Tuesday. So to ask that question is actually incredibly irresponsible.
You look at the history, Dave, it is not incredibly irresponsible to ask that question. It is valid to ask that question, and that's why you've got all this hype and all this concern over the investigation.
I'd like to know what she's smoking when she gives these answers, because the woman can't say anything that's true. It's not irresponsible or anything otherwise to ask the question. Cocaine is at the White House, and regardless of who brought it in, whether it was Hunter or anybody else, it is now the duty of the security people and all of the people think about all of the cameras that are at the White House, all of the people that I've been to the White House. I'm sure you've been to the White House. Many people you can take, or you used to be able to take White House tours at one time. You know, the amount of security that you have to go through, they look at everything that you're bringing in, bags, et cetera, et cetera. If they don't ultimately find out who did this, that will tell us far more probably than if they do find the person.
They look at everything. They scan everything for good reason. You're going in the White House. I want to move on now. This is Jessica Tarloff scolding Biden for not recognizing his 7th grandchild. Watch.
I think that this is a moment where the president really could have told his son, enough's enough. Like, I'm happy to deal with all this other stuff. I'll take it about the business dealings, the addiction, the videos, whatever, we can handle this. But this is humanity, right? This is the face of it.
Yeah, even the left is saying, listen, you fathered this little girl who's very proud to be in this family, and you're literally disowning her. Your final thoughts on this, Dave?
Yeah, look, whether she's proud or not, she is part of that family. And the fact that they don't want her to use the Biden name is absolutely disgusting. And for all of the people that always went after Trump and his family, and for whatever flaws Donald Trump might have, his kids did not turn out to be drug addicts, and they did not, or any of his grandchildren all have the Trump name. So come on, come on.
Yeah, it is. Dave Rubin, good to see you as always.
Good to see you.